Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to the show. Okay, folks, we got some talking to do. Keefe D, certified rat, confidential informant. This is not alleged. And he, like myself, has signed a proffer agreement. Let me make a prediction right now. If Keefe D takes the stand, he will beat the top charge. He's a rat. Rats know how to finesse the courtroom. Can I get an amen early? Not that, you're co-signing rat behavior, but objectively speaking, this is how he has been able to maneuver through the streets and through law enforcement all of these years, decades. He knows when to turn on the charm. If anyone has ever seen me on the stand, I work the magic. I work the magic. And the judge is sweet. Keefe D's judge that I saw, and many of you saw as well, I'm going to play some of the clips. It looks like she's just the sweetest person for this type of trial. Now, we love Tupac, yes? No ifs, ands, or buts. Oh, that reminds me. I have a Tupac plaque for sale. But just give me some time. I'll tell you all about it. But we love Tupac. The memory of Tupac, his legacy. Brilliant poet. I met him one time. He had a short conversation. It was in New York City. But Keefe D's an older man now. He has lasted the test of time. He's got all sorts of ailments. I think he's got cancer, prostate, something, I don't know. Not that I want to see him beat this because, all rats must die. Yes? Put a one in the live chat. All rats must die, including Star. We have to be fair and objective. All rats must die. Now, whether he dies in the penitentiary or dies on the streets, he's got what's coming to him. But I'm going to play some videos here this early afternoon. We're going to discuss, his former attorney who thinks that he will take the stand and other, people who have chimed in. Salute to Lisa Evers. I worked with her years ago. She still looks great, still sounds great. Former, in case you don't know, former guardian angel, going back to the early 80s or late 70s, if memory serves me correctly. So that's my my top story. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis trial begins, latest updates, and so on and so forth, okay? Showrunner, the old conversation. Do you tip along with gratuity? Now, gratuity, whether it is or, isn't included in your check when you, go out, that was supposed to be sufficient for years, decades, if you will. Now, is it something going on, or is it just on social media where waiters and waitresses expect a tip on top of gratuity? We've had this discussion before. Many of you have had this discussion before as well. There are countries where tipping it's almost like insulting someone. They don't accept tips, and in some of the resorts in Jamaica, tipping is not allowed. But here in America, beautiful America, land of capitalism, value for value, tipping. Do you tip along with gratuity? And do you understand gratuity? Do you check to see if gratuity is or isn't included? Some people don't even check. They just, they see it and they throw money on the table. I always do that. That's what they say, right? Yeah, I always do that. Got a couple of videos I want to play, and I want your thoughts. In today's modern time, maybe things are different. Just like when you go to certain, Dunkin' Donuts, these other places, and you get your coffee in the morning and other things, and they've got the tip jar there. Do they have any type of? Well, I know they have tax. Anything else that I don't know about on the receipts in the morning? Do they include some type of? If it's not a gratuity, is it a tax or what's going on? Salute to my show producer, Deeds. She's letting the live chat rip today, okay? You don't have to be a member, but we do ask you to hit the like button. We do have a goal at the top of the live chat if you want to support the machine. This is a research show, okay? All right, and like I said, a little bit later, I found a Machiavelli 4-time platinum plaque. Well, I always knew I had it, but I forgot where I had it. The Don Illuminati, the 7-day theory, in honor of the Tupac, murder trial. I'm going to let this go. Just email me. I'll send you pictures. It's a 4-time RIAA certified. If you ever buy a plaque or trade for plaques, gold or platinum, they have to be RIAA certified. Those are the official ones. So we'll talk about that later, okay? All right. Good afternoon again. How you guys doing in the live chat? Did anybody see or did you take notice to a video I posted yesterday, a compilation live callers, episode 2, Roe v. versus left-handed, Florida inmates, and the concept of sweat equity, Cheyenne Bryant, and FBA created hip-hop. Did you guys see that video I posted yesterday? If not, please check it out, okay?
Nearly 30 years after Tupac Shakur was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip, the only man ever charged with his murder is finally going to trial. Jury selection began today for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, with about 75 potential jurors called to court. Now, the process could take several days, and once the jury is seated, this trial could reportedly last as long as 5 weeks. Keefe D. is charged with murder with a deadly weapon. And to be clear, prosecutors don't claim he actually pulled the trigger. No, they say he was the shot caller, that he orchestrated it, that he was the one who helped put this whole deadly ambush in motion. And if convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. But here's what makes this case so extraordinary. Some of the most allegedly damning evidence against Keefe D. may have come from Keefe D. himself. 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend. He apparently described being inside the white Cadillac, writing that, quote, one of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock. In a 2008 recorded interview with investigators, he apparently described his nephew Orlando Anderson saying he leaned over, rolled down the window, and popped him. 2018 BET interview, Keefe D. said, when he pulled up, I was in the front seat. Now, the defense argues these stories were exaggerated, that they were fabricated, that they were all designed to sell books and get attention. They've even questioned whether Keefe D. actually wrote the book. See, the problem with that is he once allegedly admitted he was the author in a jailhouse call. Okay, not great for the defense, but is all this bad enough to convict him? Because reportedly, no murder weapon, no car, no surveillance footage of the actual shooting in question. Are you going to have direct eyewitnesses? Maybe. I want to bring in somebody with a very unique perspective on this case. That's Robert Draskevich, Dwayne Keefe Davis's former attorney who withdrew from the case in March. Thanks for taking the time. That jailhouse call, problematic?
It is somewhat. But it won't be the first time that a man has lied to a woman. This is a jail phone call, and oftentimes people exaggerate, make up stories, and try and explain the reason why they find themselves in that certain set of circumstances. But obviously, a jury is going to take that into consideration, and that does create a problem for the defense.
Now, it's interesting. I cover a lot of cases, and I hear sometimes people who say things in jail. You could say, listen, rough environment. Maybe they're just saying whatever they need to say to, protect themselves. Like you said, maybe you said whatever he said for a woman. But the multitude of apparent admissions, the argument would be this was all exaggerated, this was all to sell books, this was all to get notoriety. Is the frequency of it going to be too much for a jury?
That's a good question. You've already laid out the profit motive. Keefe D. made a lot of money making these admissions. There was a book published. He's made multiple appearances on TV, and he's been paid nearly every time that he's made these statements. I would anticipate the jury relying upon the evidence, and you've pointed out that there's a lack of hard evidence connecting him to this crime.
Well, is there? I mean, other than the...
Let me stop it right there. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I want to comb through some of this and get a full understanding of where we are. Many of you may know the details more so than myself. However, I want to put something on the table, and I see a comment already in the live chat. I'm not sure of the validity of this comment, but can anyone confirm or deny? Did Suge Knight ever say he looked at Keefe D in the eyes? Suge Knight is on the prosecution list. Yes? No? To testify? Now, so far, they've got Keefe D's admission in books and things. You know, Keefe D can get up on that stand and say, listen, I'm illiterate. I've got dyslexia. I don't know what was in that goddamn book. And in similar fashion to how Fat Joe and others have openly admitted, hey, I tell stories. I make shit up. That might be enough to get Keefe D off. Again, not that I'm rooting for him to get off, but is there a possibility that Suge Knight will say what that comment is saying on the screen? Suge is trying to get out of prison. He'll do anything. I'm not going to call Suge a rat, but what if he does say that? Then what?
Alleged admissions. What is the hard evidence against them? I was interviewing Alexandra Kazarian the other day. She said she doesn't see much. You once said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you described the evidence in this case as voluminous. What else will the prosecution present against him besides his apparent statements?
You know, well, during the time that I was representing him, I kept expecting there to be a new witness, some surprise development. The discovery in this case was voluminous. I mean, we've got 364 gigabytes of discovery, well over 20,000 pages. Throughout my review of that evidence, there was nothing putting him there in the car other than his own words. I'm unaware of a single eyewitness that will put him in the car. In fact, I saw in a recent interview, a jail interview, where he's saying that he wasn't even in Las Vegas at the time of the shooting. But
if they can prove that he was there, and they couple it with that interview, which can, by all accounts, probably used against them, that I have to imagine that could be problematic. What about the idea of any gang associations, any gang associates testifying and what his role was, or placing him in Las Vegas, or talking about any beef that he had? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's the state's theory, that he is the shot caller. That's a common theme. But again, the jury's going to need facts. He has to be there, regardless of what he has said. We've talked previously about these ideas of dual personas. I mean, he's taking some poetic license with his tale. People have done it for decades to sell records. I don't really think this case is really any different, absent any real physical proof.
What about Suge Knight? Suge Knight's in prison right now. There's a question of whether or not he'd be called as a witness, whether he'd voluntarily testify. Do you think that he could be a key prosecution witness? Hey, maybe even a defense witness?
That we had discussed the possibility of calling him. He's currently serving a 28-year sentence in San Diego. I know that he has said...
Stop right there. A 28-year sentence in San Diego. I can't see Suge not taking a deal. Dying in the penitentiary. The nation has become, a rat, a cesspool of rats. Yes, no, maybe. So why should Suge rot in jail? He's going blind. Yes, no. Suge Knight in the penitentiary can barely see.
Repeatedly, he wants nothing to do with this case. In fact, I recall reading wherein he said that Orlando Anderson was not the shooter. But outside of that, time will tell, and we'll see through the course of this trial.
I'm going to ask you a very tricky question, because I know you're very limited to what you can say. But any chance Keefe D would take the stand? He said a lot. Will this be his opportunity to tell the jury his side of the story in a different way?
Damn right.
It wouldn't surprise me, perhaps, if he did. He likes to talk. He's a very likable gentleman. He's quite witty. Over and over again, he's wanted to tell his story in open court. If he testifies, it wouldn't surprise me.
And we've got 30 seconds. Do you think there's a chance he'll be acquitted? And then I think, because he's the only one that's ever going to trial, it seems.
And one would expect the jury to hear from him. Through the course of the grand jury, the prosecution read the book that you had referred to, Compton Street Legend. There's going to be a dispute as to whether or not that, in fact, or those, in fact, are his words. There's quotes. The Invisible Man. You read the book, and it's clearly not the way that Keefe D speaks. it wouldn't surprise me if he did testify.
Okay. Well, let's watch it together. Let's see what happens. Robert Draskovic, got an open platform. Come back here and see how this case progresses. Sound good?
Thank you so much.
Can I get one or two early calls before I go to the next video? Just anybody who's thinking, anybody who's got any experience, any correction officers, anybody who transports, inmates in a van, just any insider, speculation. Keefe D is an older man now. Yes, he doesn't look like he could fight his way out of a wet paper bag. But back in those days, he was probably a goon. Yes, no, maybe? He was probably a goon. I could see him being a one-time shot caller. Thank you, Deeds. I got your text message. My show producer, she said, Keefe D said Suge looked at him. If Suge takes the stand, I would switch it up and say, yeah, we saw each other. Suck as shit. Before I go to the showrunner, do you tip along with Gratuity? Let me just play one more video here for now. This is, again, Lisa Evers. What a nice person. We worked together at Hot 97 in New York City. Many of you know her. She's a very, very established journalist, reporter, if you will, and years of credibility. If you're from the New York Tri-State, then you know her from Street Soldiers, okay? Let's listen in. Here we go.
Today begins the jury selection process in the trial of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis.
Actually, let me run that back. Let me be fair and give her all the attention she needs. Lisa Evers, here we go.
Today begins the jury selection process in the trial of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's accused of orchestrating the murder of Tupac Shakur back in 1996. That's him with the beard right there walking in. And we're going to find out what kind of a jury would the prosecution want and what kind of a jury would the defense want in a case like this. And joining us now to break it all down is Faye Honig. She's a managing director of jury research at DRC. And Faye, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And when you look at a case like this, a murder nearly 30 years ago, high profile, a lot of conflicting evidence, especially after this statements, even by the person charged, the suspect himself, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, saying that the book that he had promoted was not really written by him. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't really know what was in it. So now saying also he wasn't there the night that this happened. And by modern standards, a lack of typical forensic evidence that prosecutors would have. What kind of a jury would the prosecution be looking for? And a local jurisdiction like this? Who do they want on that jury?
Yeah, well, first of all, this case is very interesting for many of the reasons you laid out, but ultimately the defendant is also the prosecution's star witness, which is very rare. So the prosecution is going to be looking to say he's credible, he was telling the truth, and the defense is going to try to discredit him and paint him as this fame-hungry liar who is exaggerating to boost his own reputation. So this is the flip of what normally happens, and there's a subtle irony at the core of this case. So as a reminder, it's jury deselection. It's not actually jury selection. So the parties can't actually pick who they want on their jury. They can only get rid of the people who they don't want.
Oh, good point.
Talking in broad terms.
Did you guys catch that? Let me run that back. That was a very, very good point. Pay attention.
Not actually jury selection. So the parties can't actually pick who they want on their jury. They can only get rid of the people who they don't want.
Oh, good point.
Talking in broad terms, ultimately, after all the strikes are done, prosecutors are hoping to get jurors who are pragmatic. Their entire case centers around Davis's own words and multiple statements. They'll likely want jurors who trust law enforcement, trust investigative processes, and will take his almost 20-year-old proffer and subsequent statements at face value, it can turn out to be a tricky case for them. It needs to be unanimous, so they can't let one juror slip through the cracks. And many of the relevant players have died since the time of the murder. And there's also this strong chance of faded memory, false memory, which is at, the crux of this case. So they ultimately want jurors who will think who better than the defendant to know what happened. On the flip side, the defense is going to be looking for detail-oriented, probably technical jurors. These jurors who are deterred by the lack of, direct physical evidence that we're talking about, and be reluctant to convict based just on statements that are now being called into question. So the defense is ultimately making this into a false confession case, and they have to degrade their own client and cause skepticism about his credibility. So it's a very, very interesting situation.
So when you talk about the type of people and backgrounds and generations, do they do better with people that are from a more mature generation that were Tupac's age, when Tupac was really popping and really hot on the music scene and culturally? Or do they want more of a Gen Z type of juror who only knows him by the legend and is not that involved in this whole East Coast, West Coast beef and the Bloods versus the Crips, Keefe D being a prominent Compton Crip? What do you think about, is there a generational preference, do you think, for both sides?
It's a really interesting question, and I think it ultimately comes down to what the juror knows, and that's not necessarily determined by age, generation, any sort of demographic. This has been, it's one of the most notorious unsolved murders in the United States for 30 years, and it really depends on what prospective jurors have seen. You can be in your early 20s and have seen every single documentary, listen to every podcast, be very familiar with it, more so than someone who is in kind of their early 40s, 50s, was more around and active at the time that this was happening. So it's not really a generational question. It's more so something to explore in voir dire about what they actually know.
And then what about gender? Males versus females? Any feeling about that? Because he's one of the things he said in this interview that came out over the weekend on Fox 5 Vegas, he said, I'm concerned about my family. I want to be remembered as a family man, somebody who took care of his family. Their lives are in danger because of this. He doesn't specify by whom, but
Let me interrupt Lisa Evers right there. Blade, good afternoon. I got your comment on the screen. It's a very good comment. Okay, with regards to Greg Kading. Yes, the book Murder Rap. And the cancer went into remission. Okay. And he lived much longer than expected. So he's definitely trying to get out of this situation right now. Blade, any thoughts? Do you think Keefe D wants to take the stand? I say he can't wait. He can't wait to get up there. Try and clear his name. And to tell on others. That's going to be the tricky part.
In terms of the gender, do you see any kind of natural selection there or deselection there, as you would say?
Yeah, it's a good question. And again, I hesitate to put any strong onus on a demographic. It really is more something to explore in voir dire. There is this instinct to say, it is a violent topic, even though there's no, physical evidence. There's not going to be there's not the gun, there's not surveillance video. There is this kind of instinct to say that men may understand this kind of like beef more than women might, but that's not necessarily true. And so it really depends on what they know, how they think about it, what they think about maybe cooperating witnesses, the witness list, if they're very uncomfortable with violence. I've been in multiple high-profile cases where men are more uncomfortable with violence and these types of topics than women. So I hesitate to put any broad statement on it, but it's something that the parties will definitely be considering.
So how critical is this whole jury deselection process, as you much more accurately put it than calling it a selection process? How critical is this to which way this trial is going to go for Davis?
It's incredibly critical. And because of that, they anticipate jury selection will last for multiple days. The good news at state court, the attorneys get voir dire, so they can really follow up and dig in deep about jurors' biases. it is really likely that you're going to get some stealth jurors trying to get on the jury. And those are people that, have the secret agenda to get on the jury. They're very interested. They have, a strong sense of how they want the verdict to happen. It really changes the focus of voir dire. And it's really, really important to get an unbiased jury. It is very unlikely that jurors will not know about this topic, have particular feelings about it, maybe even feel uncomfortable being on the jury. So it's incredibly important for both sides to deselect. And arguably, the prosecution is going to really need to make sure that their voir dire is good, because again, it has to be unanimous. They cannot let one juror slip through the cracks that may bring up a credibility issue and not want to convict.
And then Faye, while we have you, explain for us what is in that.
Oh boy, she can talk, huh? Faye. Damn, she can talk. Let me just jump in here for a second. I see many of you commenting on Lisa Evers. She put in so much work, not just on the subways. If I remember correctly, some people broke into the old Guardian Angel's office, tried to rape her. She was very good in martial arts once upon a time. So she not only was a Guardian Angel on the subways, one time married to Curtis Sliwa, the head of the Guardian Angels. But to my knowledge, the only radio host on Hot 97 that ever went up to Albany to see about different policies with regards to blacks and Hispanics. Keep that in mind. She's the only one that I ever know that used to go up to Albany, the capital of New York, to see about, changing policies and, I'll just say issues with law enforcement. Okay, let's finish up and then we'll shift gears here for a second.
Voir dire process, because it sounds like you're saying you can't really go by any type of just arbitrary stereotype or demographic of any individuals thinking, well, the women are going to be repelled by it, the men will be understanding, or vice versa. It's really this total picture. But how does a voir dire work?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always say people are not just one thing. You're not just a woman. You're not just a man. You're not just young. You're not just old. Who you are is the combination of your life experiences, your value beliefs, your background, all of those things. And that's what you bring into the jury room. And there's this, underlying sort of tension in this case. It's the prosecution. It's been unsolved for 30 years. The prosecution's really wanting to solve this and kind of put an end to it. And on the flip side, the defense is saying you can't just convict if there's no evidence and you're just going off of, these statements. So the voir dire, the attorneys are going to ask the jurors many questions about their value beliefs, their knowledge of the case, their views. They're going to cover topics. The first one they're going to ask is probably media coverage, their familiarity with Tupac, their familiarity with the events of that night. If they followed the case, if they've seen any recent media coverage. There's also a long witness list. So they're going to want to explore their knowledge of those witnesses as well. They're also going to be interested in their views on hip hop culture, especially in the 90s, street gangs. The prosecution's probably going to want to explore if a juror thinks the person might exaggerate or lie about committing a crime to gain.
Let me jump in here for a second because this young lady here can talk. Guys, do you think that a predominantly white jury in this situation would be to Keefe D's advantage? Usually people complain, it's an all-white jury. They're going to do them dirty. Do you think that an all-white jury or predominantly Caucasian jury would help Keefe D in this situation? He's not the trigger man. So whether he orchestrated this or not once upon a time, that is debatable. Just want to say that, right? Okay, let me clear the screen here. And we have to have this conversation that we've had before about gratuity. Again, do you tip along with gratuity? I want to ask you guys that. Now, there are many people, before I play the video, waitresses, waiters, they always say black people don't tip. I think that's fabricated. Let me look in the live chat. I've known a lot of black people over the decades who over tip because they want to floss. They want to show out. Yes, no. I think bad people, with the exception of those who dine and dash. That's the newer generation. Black people over tip. Always, This ain't nothing. Y'all order what you want. That's how we did it back in the 80s and the 90s, right? Hey, Deeds. Deeds says it's rich people that don't tip. I would agree with that. I'm not going to play a bunch of videos with people just claiming, oh, the blacks don't tip. I think that's fabricated. But let me start here. I don't know who these people are, but there's a female who claims to be a waitress, and she has some type of either TikTok or Instagram page. Let's start with her, okay? Oh, and Deeds, can you check your show notes? I always send out my show notes. I got a video coming up about glueless wigs for toddlers. Please tell me that's AI. Please tell me that's not real, Deeds, before I play it. Here we go.
Y'all, welcome back to another day in the life as a waitress. I just want to let everybody know that gratuity is not a tip. Gratuity is gratuity, and a tip is a tip. Let me explain. Gratuity is often split between all the waitresses depending on where you work. Out of that gratuity, the waitress has to pay the bartender, the person making your drink. Out of that gratuity, the server also has to pay the barback, who are the people who come and help clean up, make sure the tables stay clean. So when I give somebody a receipt and they look at me and they say, oh, gratuity is included, I say gratuity is included, but a tip is not. Gratuity is gratuity, and a tip is a tip. And if gratuity isn't solely going to the person who's serving you, and your server is treating you right, making sure you have everything, keeping your space clean, being responsive, and just, being a great server, then you should tip your server. And if you can't afford to tip, then you shouldn't be out. Plain and simple.
Your thoughts? Sit tight in the queue. I got one of my sponsors. I'm going to bring him in. I don't think I need to play that again. I think you guys got it, or the gist of it. Go to my first caller. Good afternoon, JR Cigar. Are you there, sir? 917.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Yes, I am. How you doing today?
Good to hear from you, man. I've been using your ashtray on my patio, AccuracySmokes.com. Where do you want to start? Two topics.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? Two topics.
Yeah. Well, so I was looking at the thing about the tip versus gratuity. I know you were talking about black people, about tip versus gratuity. That's I think that's a double-edged sword.
No. Hold on. The question. Do you tip along with gratuity? You're a man of a certain age. You're not as old as I am, but you know to check to see if gratuity is included when you go out. Yes, you.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course
okay.
I do that. Yeah.
So with that understanding, do you tip on top of the gratuity? To be honest with you, sometimes I do. If the service is good, I'll tip on top of the gratuity.
I'm also the same way, Star.
Huh.
Depending on how the server is, and the server overextends themselves and they're a great server, yes, I would tip along. I would throw an extra $20 in their hand along with the gratuity cost, because you went above and beyond for me. But if you're just regular and you're typical server and you're not really paying attention, you're just going to get the gratuity and I'm just going to keep it moving. I think that's what these servers don't understand. I understand you might have 10 tables, but you have to also know how to balance. And like if I have water and my water's half, you be able to pour my water inside and have an equal eye when it comes to certain things.
Let me jump in and say this. Now, sometimes I use the tipping as a motivation, and I'll be honest with you. I tip black women more so than anybody else. A Caucasian has to work my goddamn table for a tip, but I will tip Mammy off the rip just to make sure, her and I are somewhat sort of on the same page, and she doesn't give me that, attitude. I'll give her 20 up front, and I'll say, hey, take this for right now because I'm going to be drinking, and I might forget. Now, if she smiles, she might get another 10. That's not being sadistic. I like to set the tone. Go ahead.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm also like that.
Right.
Like when I used to go to bars.
Right.
If it's a nice, a sister and she's serving up the drinks off the rip, I'll throw a $10 tip.
Okay.
And like you said, it gives them motivation.
Yeah.
And if they're even better, I might even throw in a 20.
Okay.
It's all about how you treat people. It's all about how you treat people and how it is in the interaction. These servers have to understand. They have to know people. Even when I'm in the people business. You got to make people feel good. You got to even try to relate to them somehow, find a common ground, common conversation. If you're just there and you're bland, people are not going to connect with you. They're going to let you get gratuity or they won't tip you at all.
Yeah.
It's a people business. So you get what you get back into the universe. That's how it goes.
Hold on a second. Who's on the screen there? They got to split the tip too, unless it's okay. Okay, now are you in the service? Is it Crocodile Tears 9096? Thank you for your donation. Okay, so you are a tipper. Long story short, Joe Cigar.
Yeah, I'm a tipper. And I just want to say about KBD. KBD is cooked. He's done. I don't know what he thinks he can do. He's the fall guy. He's going down, Star. I don't care what he says. He's done.
Okay.
He got to be one of the dumbest guys, along with G-Dep. You're dumb.
Whoa. Come on. Don't take it. Now, you worked with Diddy, so you're...
I knew G-Dep. I knew he was, but listen, some say that was commendable what he did. He felt guilty. He turned himself in. But where I'm from, if you got away with the crime, you keep your mouth shut. So... yeah.
I strongly disagree with you, not because I've met G-Dep a few times, but the man had a murder on his conscience. He confessed, for those who don't know, G-Dep, one time signed to Bad Boy. He turned himself in years later. How much time did they give him? Was it a decade or more?
I think they gave him 15. Yeah, they gave him like 15 years. Right. I think he did 15 years. And listen, I remember a time when G-Dep came inside the building, and he came to see Harpier, and he was dusted out of his mind. So
can we not do that? Let's just focus on the murder.
Okay, all right, you're right, sir.
He admitted to a murder. That's I'm not trying to attack the man's character.
No, that's commendable. It's commendable. Right. But I mean, but I'm just saying that TBD is cooked. He's done. Get him out of here. On to the next one.
Okay.
And if you can, go to www.activitysmokes.com.
Yes, sir.
Get the best cigars in Margot, Santiago, Dominican Republic. Right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you picking up the call.
Salute.
Have a great day, sir. Thank you. Salute, sir.
JR Cigar tapping in. Yeah, G-Dep turned himself in. I wouldn't do it, but I respect the fact that he owned up to it.
Well, you've been in custody since 2023. Your trial's coming up in a few days. How are you holding up?
I'm doing good. Best I can. Yep. So how you doing?
Getting ready for the trial as well. So I read your book, Compton Street Legend, that you co-authored. Why did you feel the need to tell your story? And when you wrote it, did you ever imagine the situation you'd be in now?
I didn't write that book. I just told him 10 things in my life and gave him some pictures. He did research and stuff like that. Him and my lawyer did that book. My lawyer died, and I just went on and signed on to it with him. I never read it or nothing.
You were never handed a manuscript to sign off on?
No, I never read the book or nothing. It was already... And him and my lawyer was doing his name was Wayne Higgins, and he passed.
Guys, can he read? Does anybody know his background? Is he dyslexic? I've got a family member who is dyslexic. Maybe Keefy D can't read. I'm not trying to clown him.
Water in his yard. They was friends, and he got in contact with me. Then I was just signed on to him. He gave me like 10 pictures, told me like 10 things that happened in my life, and he added all the adverbs and stuff like that. He did that. He did the thing on research. So yeah, I never I didn't write that book.
Well, I did read it. It mentions some interactions you had with Tupac Shakur. How would you describe your relationship with Tupac before September 1996?
I prefer not to talk about that stuff.
Smart man.
But, I would like to send how my family is in danger and stuff like that, and how I wasn't even in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in Vegas when this stuff happened. So I just said that stuff to get out of trouble.
So you were not in Las Vegas. You're saying September 7th, 1996?
No, I wasn't. They can't prove I was in Las Vegas. I wasn't in Las Vegas. And my family is in real danger. They got like 2 witnesses that's, there's some dangerous dudes. Like they said, my son put out a hit on one of them. His name is Dante Lee. He the one real dangerous. He killed 3 guys out there in La Mirada, California.
Okay.
And he said my son put out a hit on him. I wouldn't want my son nowhere near him because he get to kill people.
Let me interrupt for a second. I like that comment on the screen from member Crocodile Tears 9096. When Keefe D was a kingpin, he ruled in fear and violence, clearly not brains, like Freeway Rick Ross. I believe that. Some of your biggest Italian gangsters were just savages. They weren't the brightest. They weren't the brightest mentally, but they instilled fear. Can anyone who knows Keefe D's, history, can you concur with that? Not trying to, big him up, but I can believe that.
For free and get out of jail for free, you know what I'm saying? And, they gave him $5,000. Well, we just played them out of $5,000. He's wrong, He's wrong. And then that Reggie Wright Jr., he's threatening my son on the internet. The last few days, he didn't threaten him on the internet. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Could you describe back in the 90s the tension between the Southside Crips and Death Row Records?
There wasn't no tension between us never because of maybe about 2 weeks before that September in August 96, we was at the House of Blues and they had a concert with the Loonies. Suge, Tupac, and Snoop pulled up in some Rolls Royces. And they came and said, what's going on here? I said, the concert over with. And he said, let's go up to Paradise. We got up there on Santa Monica and Hyatt, right there in Hancock District in LA. We was never at odds with each other. Me and him as friends we've been knowing each other since we was 8 years old. I played football with him, and his daddy and uncles was our coach.
Yeah. Let me jump in here for a second. I'm listening to this intensely because, in my opinion, he still has his faculties. He does not have dementia. His speech is not as strong as it used to be, but he's not slurring his speech. He doesn't sound like an old, drug addict. Yes, no, maybe. Salute to Al Tariq. Peace to Al Tariq. He's a member. What did he say? Joel Santana said the kids do not really need to learn how to read because, they. Well, we talking about an old nigga, an old rat, sir. But thank you for your comment. Thank you for being a member.
Was never at all with him.
I do want to mention, you had said that you were not in Vegas the night that Tupac died when there was the Mike Tyson fight. Again, I read this book, every single page. You included a picture of your sister and yourself at the fight.
That wasn't no fight. Why would I wear an overcoat in September That's what I never fight. Why would I wear an overcoat and a hat? I had a suit on and an overcoat. That was a New Year's party. That was a New Year's party.
Come on,
it says
KPD.
over here, me and my sister at the fight.
I didn't author that book. The dude just put that stuff in there. He had no fight. But September the 7th, it'll be 115 degrees. What I want to wear a suit with an overcoat on and a hat. Don't make sense.
So
go back and look at the degrees. That September. You think I'll wear that in September 7th? Come on now.
He might be illiterate, but he's not stupid. He might be illiterate, but he's not stupid. And he's smiling when he's... Can you imagine him on the stand responding in front of the jury like he is right now? I'd believe him.
A suit with an overcoat on and a hat. That was at a New Year's Eve party. You see Orlando, he got the same floor.
Yep.
He had on a Dan Marino jacket. Dan Marino shirt that night in September, didn't he?
You're saying that
raise it up again. Show me again. Do that look like a Dan Marino shirt? Come on now. Think about it.
Stop. Now, do you see her smiling? Look at her smiling. This is what I was saying in the beginning of the show. Folks, I'm going to be taking my time today because, again, Keefe D is a seasoned rat. Talking is what he does in front of law enforcement to cut deals. He's got her smiling. She came there with the goddamn book. She read the book thinking she could just, catch him in all sorts of traps. And here she is damn near creaming in her panties.
He can change that quick. He can change up that quick.
Why was this picture included in the book soon after your description?
I did not write that book. A ghostwriter wrote that. He just put that on there.
And he never ran anything by you.
You think I would wear a suit? A two-piece suit with an overcoat on? Come on now. Cashmere overcoat.
Well,
Orlando can change his clothes that quick.
I've watched some of your other interviews. You came out with a few. There was a Vlad TV interview as well.
They paid me.
Hold on a second. Who's that? Is it Bobcat? I was looking for a comment. Bobcat says Star is outrageous. Thank you, sir. Listen, it takes a rat to know a rat. I'm talking about the rat from a rat's perspective.
Money to say that stuff. Pay me money to say that stuff.
You were publicizing the book. Were you publicizing it knowing that you didn't write it?
I was just trying to make my family some money. That's all it is. But you get where I'm coming from? Why would I wear a suit with an overcoat on and a hat September the 7th? Come on now. Think about it. Orlando can change clothes that quick. He can change clothes that quick. Honestly. You think he's a magic man? He got the clothes in the lobby. He can change up clothes that quick. Orlando was a kid, and that picture was 2 years later. That was on a New Year's Eve party. I did not write the book. That's going to show you that I didn't write the book. Why would I have on a suit? You know what I'm saying? I did not write that book.
But the book has been a center of discussion in prior court proceedings, and it seems like it may be brought up in trial. Your name's also associated with it on the front cover.
Okay. One more time.
Jeffrey, good afternoon, sir. Is that confirmed? Keefe D got $150K from Vlad. Now, I can text Vlad and ask him, but is that confirmed? That sounds about right. How many years did he sit on Vlad's couch?
I said that the book has been brought up in prior court hearings, and it could be brought up in court as well. Your name is on the front cover. So why not stop the book from being published if you knew it was going to be published? if you didn't write it?
I didn't know that. I never read it. I didn't know that book was going to be published. They gave me money. I just did for money. That's going to prove that I wasn't in, that wasn't no fake. Why would I, September the 7th, you know what I'm saying? Why would I wear a suit, overcoat, and a hat? And you can check out, it was 100 probably 100 degrees on September the 7th. So think about it.
Okay.
Why would I wear that? Orlando, he's a magician or something. He can change his clothes that quick. Come on now.
So if you didn't,
that was on New Year's Eve.
if you
That was a
weren't,
New Year's Eve party, and we're gonna have somebody come and tell you that was a New Year's Eve party. That wasn't no fight.
if you weren't,
Hey, Love and Loyalty. Vlad reposted. He definitely did. Okay. Well, that could be evidence for Keefe D, right? You see, here's how much money they gave me. Okay, Jeffrey says, yes, confirmed, sir. Okay, so again, listen, folks, this is the objective perspective. I'm not pulling for Keefe D, you know, to beat the case. I mean, he's a rat. He's got to go down for something. But the case might fall apart.
there that night, how did you know the details to write about in this
did
book?
not write that
Or where
book.
did these
You
vivid
asked
details
me
come?
one more time about on the end of the interview, I swear.
Okay.
You asked me one more time. We're not here to talk about that book. I'm here to tell you how my family's life is in danger. I'm here to tell you about there's a bunch of lies going on. I'm not here to talk about that book. It's like a gag order on that type of stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? So.
A lot of the stuff that's been a judge ruled that the 2008 police interview can be used against you. I noticed in court you were very upset when that judge denied your defense's motion. What was your reaction? What was going through your head a couple of weeks ago in court?
What's going through my head? She acted like she was there. She wasn't there. She acted like she was there. She was in junior high school or something. She wasn't there. She was in like high school. You know?
Do you regret giving that 2008 interview?
What's that?
Do you regret giving that 2008 interview?
I'm going to stop right there. Phone lines open. This is an early research edition. I'm combing through a lot of the different content with regards to the Keefe D trial that started. The jury selection, started yesterday. Let's go to a couple of phone calls. Hey there, area code 231. Please watch the language. Good afternoon. Are you there? 231.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Star?
Hey, how are you?
Star, one thing that I just watched the video that you just played, but one thing that got to remember, he already told the police what happened. Everything that happened in these books, everything that happened in these interviews, right. He already told the police what happened because he got he caught a charge or whatever that was. He caught a charge back in.
He signed a proffer agreement.
It was. Yes, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Hey, you know, we're not gonna prosecute you if you tell us really what really happened." You know, he told her exactly what he's been talking, and that's why they brought him up in these charges because everything he's talking about in these interviews in the book, he already told the police that. That's why, you know, that's why they charging him. So I don't see how. I mean, it's like they got him, or I don't know how that worked. If they can claim that he was lying about the deal you take, I don't know if they can bring those charges back up, those drugs charges back up. I don't know how that works.
Well, I have not seen the proffer agreement. Have you? Because I signed a proffer agreement. You know, but there's certain things that you can seek with regards to indemnification. You know, even if the proffer agreement becomes public. I think he just straight out violated it because he doesn't seem to be able to read, or maybe he's dyslexic. I'm not trying to clown the man. Maybe he didn't fully understand what he signed.
And also in it, it could be that those proffer agreements say, "Hey, we can still charge you if you continue to do this we like I said, we don't know what was in that proffer agreement, you know.
Right.
So
yeah,
that and I'm wondering if the prosecution is going to bring that up. Was going to bring that. I mean, of course, they probably will. They probably going to bring that up. That what he said in that when before.
Let me interrupt for a second and correct me if I'm wrong, because a lot of this stuff, just because I worked at record companies for a decade and radio stations does not mean I'm more in the know than a lot of other people. I'm not trying to act like I'm some know-it-all. So he agreed to things with the proffer agreement, and the interview that he did with Greg Kading, that was in that Diddy documentary. I forget the name of it, right?
Yes.
Some of the audio. Now, has the full interview ever been out to the public? The full interview with Greg Kading. I have not heard the full interview.
I have not either. I have not heard the full interview either. I'm thinking the prosecution is going to bring all of this stuff in. You know, the judge already said all this stuff is going to be allowed. You know, all these things that's going on with this case, all this talking, like, because I've heard you say it. I heard I was listening to Gene Deal the other day, and I was just CNN talking about there's no physical evidence, but it's like he putting himself there. You know, with that he already talked about it. You know, so. Yeah. I don't see how he's going to get out of it. Well, listen, I'm interested, and I'm fascinated by the fact that he's lasted the test of time. And again, I'm not saying free Keefe D. He has put good men in the penitentiary. He's a certified rat. I mean, you cannot become a kingpin in any major city and not do business with the authorities. Would you agree? Right. Yeah, especially L.A. We know what happened when, with Rick Ross back in L.A. in the 70s and 80s. Yeah. So, with the CIA. So, especially L.A. You know. So.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate the call. Hey, do you want to comment about the showrunner? It's just a question. I got more videos to play. Do you tip along with gratuity?
I usually stay away from places that try to add on the gratuity with the tip. I tip I tip, but I don't try to overdo it. I'm sick of tipping culture, honestly. You know, it's like the people, they feel like they obligated to your money when they're really not. You know, And I know other countries, they don't even tip in other countries. I know other people talk about like America has a tipping problem. If foreigners come over here, like they never experienced the tipping. You know, so.
I appreciate the call, man. Salute.
All right, Star.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There's Vlad on the check-in. Vlad says, Nika, you put good Brooklyn niggas in the penitentiary. No, I put bum-ass niggas who got in my way in the penitentiary. Listen, we're going to get something straight here at some point, because a lot of people invite me onto their podcast, and when I finally do make it up north, I'm behind schedule. One of my first stops is going to be Math Hopper. That's my guy. Brooklyn is the home of cutthroats, backstabbers, and conniving, grimy niggas. There's no loyalty. Blade, you know that. There has never been loyalty on the streets of Brooklyn. Everybody's out for self. So, yeah, F niggas who I put in the penitentiary. Area code 720. Good afternoon. Please watch the language. We're having a discussion here.
It's Charlie Brown. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Good to hear from you. Pretty much start.
Good. So I went ahead and did some research on that whole proffer agreement, and it specifically states that in Las Vegas, even after you sign a proffer agreement, you can still be charged for conspiracy of murder.
Right.
So it does not, everything, like they said, the last caller said, he had already told them everything. So they can still utilize what he told them under specific mechanisms. So what it looks like is, and I did the research here, it's actually under revised code. I just had it pulled up here.
Take your time.
Statute.
Take your time.
Yeah, there's a statute here that has the revised code here. That specifically states, like, under specific mechanisms, and it's going to be what is this? Revised code, statutes 200, or what is it? Sorry, I lost my place on that one, Star. But I just looked it up, and you know, he's going down. Like, I don't know what this man is talking about, or why would I wear a jacket?
Can I jump in, Charlie Brown? Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
Now, I signed 2 prop agreements. Did Keefe D sign a federal or a state prop agreement?
So from what ChatGPT did, so I went through Google, and the AI pulled up this specific case. So that's why it's crazy, because it pulled up this specific case with Keefe D. So what he signed was something that looks like it was with the state of Nevada. So he signed a state proffer agreement.
Okay.
And that's why they were able to basically double back.
Okay.
And they utilized specific mechanisms.
That makes sense.
That
makes sense, yeah.
To where he can, yes, sir. Yeah. So he's going down. I'm sick of hearing that old nigga sit here and backpedal. You took all this money, man. Stand on what you said, man. Don't sit here and try to take credit for something, and then when they try to double back and come get you.
Right.
Now, old nigga, now it's all, you know, I ain't part of it. I don't know that. I just want the money and this and that. Like, nah, man, stand on what you did.
Yeah. I hope he does take the stand. I want to be thoroughly entertained. Now, do you know if the trial is going to be open to the public?
I didn't look into it as far as it being open to the public. Okay. I'm thinking this is going to be very quick. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's going to go up there and do a lot of, you know, niggas explaining. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, they basically got him. He fell for the trap. And obviously, you know, he didn't know what he signed. And then you got the audacity to say you didn't even read a book that has you signed off on it, that has your name on the book. Yeah, come on, man. Like, Keefe D, man, sit down. Take a long seat, man. I hope he takes the...
Charlie Brown, can I jump in?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you calling. We always have good discussions here. I just want to throw something out there. Do you think that maybe Keefe D is smarter than a lot of other people? Maybe he's like a Kaiser Sose type. Maybe he reads fluently. Hang on. Maybe he reads fluently. Maybe he listens to classical music. Maybe he understands things that most people have no knowledge of. Just because he, you know, lived in the slums and he was slumming for a lot of years doesn't mean he didn't have an extensive library at home. Do you know who Kaiser Sose was in that movie? Oh God, was it Usual Suspects? I'll Google it. You know what I'm talking about?
No, sir. To be honest, I'm not familiar.
Okay, but good. You were saying?
Yeah. So no, I'm definitely not going to give this old nigga no credit. I think he is absolutely an idiot. He thought he was good to go off the proffer agreement, and they doubled back and came and got him. That's it, man.
Okay.
Hang him high.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Have a good show, Star.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kaiser Sose, a fictional character in the 1995 film The Usual Suspects. Anybody want to call in? Tell me what you think about that. Was that Kevin Spacey? I saw that film so long ago. Oh, he played that role until the very end. Had everybody fooled. Bill, I get your donation. Thank you so much. Respect to you, sir. Hey, Patrice. Nice to hear from you. What's going on with Blade? This is what Suge was wearing to the Tyson fight, and it was just as hot for him. What is Blade sending me? Okay. Thank you so much, Blade. David D. Cordova, how are you, man? Do you want to tap in? Anybody want to cam up? Any sponsors, you are welcome to cam up. David, you can cam up if you want. Area code 202. Good afternoon. Please watch the language. Are you there? 202.
Yes, I'm here.
How are you, sir?
What's going on, Star? Hey, I talked to you a few times.
Okay. I'm alive, sir. Niggas a decade younger than me got all sorts of heart issues. What are the heart valve problems? Niggas have had mild strokes, and here I am, healthy. What's going on, man? I'm being silly.
I wanted to address the the gratuity, the tipping along with gratuity
Yes, sir.
thing. Because I'm a barber, so I just watched your last. I wish I had called in about that last Saturday. But
well, listen, for you, hold on. For you, I'll go back because people were really dumping on barbers, and I remember when you had to have a master barber license, and that was a thing. How long did you have to go to school? Do you get a master's barber license?
Yeah, I have one, and I went to school in 2000 into 2001, and it
was a couple of years to get that thing, right? A couple of years you had to.
Yeah, like technically 9 months to 2 years.
Okay, come on.
Like if you full time, part time, and after that, you get a couple of years, and you can take your master test. And I took that, I became a master barber. But to one of the people's point that I was watching on the video, with taxes, right, with being the fact that we live in a digital society, they track everything.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why a lot of barbers charge extra. But to the customer's point of view, they make valid points. A lot of barbers aren't customer service aware. And one time I went to a barber school to be a teacher, and one of my things was to teach these kids about how to run a business and how to be customer service savvy, because I knew barbers that couldn't cut a lick, but their customer service skills were so on point. They was doing just as well as barbers who can cut. So a lot of times it's the relationships that you build with the people, which these younger generation of kids actually really don't know, because we come from a different generation where we didn't have social media, so we had to talk to each other. These kids don't so much. So now these kids becoming adults and they don't know how to communicate effectively. So they said 50, and that's it. They don't talk, ask how your day was and all that, but you have to charge at least 40 and up for you to.
I say 50. A haircut today, you should be starting at 50. I'm saying that because
I charge 55.
Okay. I wouldn't be mad if you charge 60. And let me just say this: I don't mean to talk on top of you, but I don't mind going back to this particular topic. Florida boy Jay, sit tight. I see you in the queue. FBJ, sit tight. The master barber's license. Again, if we can just go there for a second, because yes, a lot of people today can cut hair, but if you don't get an understanding of how to clean your blades and your tools, people can get all sorts of what do you call that stuff? It's not just the goddamn the razor bumps, but all sorts of infections.
All different types of disease, but they teach you that in barber school.
Right.
Every barber who got a license
should
know what you need to do to be sanitary.
Right.
Because you can pass on, especially nowadays with the type of diseases and stuff that people in like. And then another thing, which a lot of barbers don't do, you should wash your hair before the haircut. If the customer doesn't come there with a hair wash and you see their hair dirty, it's your responsibility to tell them that you're going to wash their hair if they want to sit in your chair.
Yeah.
And because of sanitary purpose, because if you wash the hair, that pretty much, you come with a clean cut, your edges is clean, your neck is clean, behind your ears is clean, everything is sanitized.
Right.
But even if you sanitize, you're supposed to spray your clippers down with barbicide and things that they sell to you, because a lot of times people come and sell you products in the shop, and one of the things they stress is make sure you buy your barbicide.
And let me just add this for those who don't know. When you go to high-end restaurants, you spend money. You know you're going to spend money because the chefs have what? They have culinary training.
Yes.
So in similar fashion, when you go to get that master barber's license, I respect it. That's all I wanted to say. Hey, man, do you want to comment on Keefy D? I don't want to spend too much time.
Okay, yeah. And one more point about the barber thing, but hell yeah. Now with Keefy D, right, to your point, the Cosby Social, I heard you say that just now, right? I would say, I would lean towards that way, because you got to understand from watching Keefy D interviews, he wasn't no low-level budget drug dealer. He dealt with cartel type people. He dealt with a different type of clientele. So when come with that type of clientele come information that the regular street dudes and common folks don't know how real society works, in the back door stuff that these politicians take and the different types of things. And who's to say he just did that all that to take attention from who really did kill Pop?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
A whole lot of sense. I appreciate the call, man. Have a great day. Salute.
Oh, you too. You too.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, guys, we did a show the other day about barbers. Great conversation. And some of you, if you want to continue the conversation, go into that video and leave your comments. Here's the president of the Real Nigga Network, repping Duval County, Florida boy Jay.
We are in the building, man. What's going on today? What's going on today, man? We gotta break this down.
Yeah.
We got we got this old nigga Keefy D out here, and I find it really funny and karmic that I believe Keefy D will probably be sentenced or have his sentence or be convicted almost 30 years to the day of the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
And I think that is awesome because for so many years, people been thinking Tupac's been in Cuba, he did this, or he wasn't killed, or a helicopter came and picked him up. Salute to the Jew, Vlad, for years of interviews, getting numbers passed off to the next guy, and finally got the big fish, Keefy D, to slip on.
That's my homie, Vlad.
Loaded.
Salute to my homie,
Salute
Vlad.
to Vlad.
Yeah.
Got Keefy D bloated and loaded, sitting on that little stool, snitching. Ain't no black guy did it. Ain't nobody love Pac more. I say this, DJ Vlad is the biggest Tupac fan and supporter alive, because who else expended the resources and time to interview and document all of the people and all the major players down to the hour, to the minute, to the second of the night Tupac was shot? The only person he hasn't really interviewed with is Suge Knight on the matter.
Right.
And for Keefy D, to me, I believe Keefy D is going to go down, and he's not going to tell. He's not going. I know people want him to throw Puffy's name in it, or this guy's name, or that guy's name. But the thing about Keefy D is that he knows if he goes down with the sinking ship, he might be able to take his last breath in a jail cell. But if he snitches, he might end up like Epstein. He might end up.
Well, let me jump in here for a second. It sounds like you're driving. You got a lot of wind blowing in the background, FPJ. But now at the same time, he's a certified confidential informant, so he's going to have to name people other than just black street people. So to some degree, you might be right. He may have to worry about winding up like Jeffrey Epstein, but I mean, unless they can prove this, and that's going to be hard. He's not on trial for being the trigger man. They're just trying to say that he orchestrated this. I don't see them getting the type of conviction that most people think they're going to get. What do you think about time served?
I don't believe it's going to be time served, because I think Vegas have for a long time been wanting to solve this murder, but I think murder, celebrity, Vegas Strip, that whole headline since 1996, because you remember that was when Vegas was trying to rebrand themselves family friendly. Right. So I think now is more convenient than ever before to finally prosecute Keefy D, and for what they charged him with, if they're going to use the Vlad interviews, if they're going to bring up the fact that he was doing certain things leading up to it. Personally, I don't think he's going to snitch on Puff Daddy, but if they believe he did it,
sure he would. Why wouldn't he throw that nigga under the bus? Sure he would.
No, let me clear it up. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't bring him up, but I truly think after hearing all the information, they can't truly believe Keefy D is responsible for this if Puffy won't be implicated by the prosecution or the defense at a certain point. I think Sean Combs' name has to, if you believe Keefy D did it, and there's a direct connection to Sean Puffy Combs, then he has to be brought up. I just don't believe that they're going to actually, I don't believe Puffy's going to be dealing with any consequences from it, but I do believe he will be brought up, and they will have to kind of...
Can I jump in? I disagree. I think that Keefy D will open the door for the feds to charge Diddy. Yeah, he's gonna open the door. If you're gonna take me, if you're gonna take me down, what about him? That's what rats do. He was with me. He's part of this. You know.
Hey, he said when the walls are closing in, brother, love, show a brother some love, man. I lost everything. Right. I gave you the old school for Usher's "Can You Get With It" video, and y'all scratched it all up. You didn't even compensate me for that.
Right.
Niggas, what we doing?
What we doing? Yeah. Hey man, stay with me for a second. I'm gonna make sure I'm promoting my sponsors here. Skylar Saunders, do you want to cam up? Where are you, Skylar? Sean, what's the guy's name down there? One of Julio's killers, Sean Gathright. What is his name? Remember?
Yeah, Gathright. Yeah.
Okay. I cannot get a confirmation that he was stabbed. I was watching 1090 Jake, and there's no paperwork. There's no incident report or anything. Have you heard anything?
Not yet. The streets are talking, but like you said before, people move fast with paperwork, and prison information travels pretty fast. So if we haven't seen no paperwork, we haven't seen any documents, but also even when Tory Lanez got stabbed up, you know, it took a while for some of that stuff to get confirmed. Also, like niggas couldn't really.
Well, we saw that video.
Right. But it didn't come out overnight. Like it took a couple days for that to come out. And this Gertrude stabbing is going on a week now, and he's a little lower profile than Tory Lanez. So if he was poked up in the prison, I think we would have found that now. But I don't believe anybody's surprised. Seeing out all the co-defendants, he was one up there crying and sniffling when they were showing pictures of him hitting the white girl pose as a adolescent. You know, light skinned.
Everything else good with you?
Yeah, man. Everything else is good with me. And you had another topic about tipping on top of the gratuity.
Yeah. Do you tip along with gratuity when you're out and about? Because you're out there, you and your team and the ladies.
Yeah, no, I don't, because when I always have to pick up the check. When I pick up the check and I look and I see 10% or 20% gratuity, then I'm just gonna pay what the receipt says. I'm not gonna add on anything extra. Okay. I mean, I do salute the service, profession, because I've dated certain waiters, bartenders, so I understand how much that matters into your bottom line and paying for your groceries and things to the household. But at the end of the day, if your business is telling me 20% gratuity, regardless of the service that I got from you, I could have got crappy service and you still with 20% gratuity. So that is also protecting the servers from, they have a bad night, or they give you a bad service at the table. They still get paid either way. So why am I going out of my way to give you something that your business already?
I just figured I would ask because you're always out there popping bottles, right or wrong. You back and forth in LA, and doing what you do, moving, shaking, and popping. I respect it.
Yeah, just had to throw that in there. But if that's the only two topics today, right? That's it.
Yeah. That's I'm just sitting here going through some other videos, man. Great to talk to you.
All right. Oh, and. Yeah, lastly, real quick, sorry. I don't know if you got the email a few days ago, but What's the Dirt did a very detailed expose on the Rock Nation lawsuit and the people connected to it. Okay. Whenever you have time, I'll talk to you off air about it.
I'll check it out.
Luke, thank you for letting me call in.
Yes, sir.
I'll holler at you guys later.
Okay, take care. Good to hear from you. All right. Photo Boy Jay. Okay, so we have an inquiry about my Tupac plaque. It's a huge Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati, the 7 day. Let me see if I can. It's on my Instagram page. Can you hold on a second? Deeds, can I bother you? On my Instagram page somewhere. Let me scroll down. Oh, I'm sorry. So let me tell you how I knew I didn't lose it, but the Tupac plaque, here it is on my IG page, and a bunch of other ones. Gangsta Boo, my ex down in the Atlanta metro area, she was a big Tupac fan, so I let her hold it when I was moving out of Woodstock back up to Stone Harbor. And I forgot that it was there. And then the other night I said, where's my goddamn Tupac plaque? I called her and she said, I knew you was going to call me for that. She thought I was going to let her keep it, but when the hell is it? I might let it go for 10 bands. It's RIAA certified. 4 million. Okay, here it is. I got to send this. How do I send this to myself? Hold on, guys. Okay, this is easy. Tupac. Now I have to go down to the ATL to pick it up if somebody's serious. And it would be nice to see Gangsta Boo, my ex. All right. Hey, we got a good man who wants to cam up, sponsor, if you will. David D. Cordova.
Hey.
How are you, man?
How you doing?
Good. Good to see you. What's going on, man? What do you want to start? What do you want to talk about this afternoon?
How's my mic? How's my audio? Am I good?
You're good, man. You're good. Yeah, you're up in Canada, for those who don't know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, on a Tuesday. I'm happy you come on early now. This works good for me.
For the research shows, I like to pop up early. The research
no, it's nice. You know, especially for the car ride home when you're driving home, listening on the way back from work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Keefe D. The jury selection has started for the trial, or the showrunner. Do you tip along with gratuity? What's it like up in Canada there with the tipping and all that stuff?
Nowadays they have it in the payment terminal. So it's like 15%, 20%, 30%. So you can tip the max. It's already built in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
50%?
Sorry, 15.
15.
15, yeah. Sorry. 15, 20, and 30.
Okay.
So it's already built in. So you go to restaurants, you just press how much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like anyone's tipping bill money anymore.
Well, there was one video that I played earlier from a waitress, and I think she does daily blogs and things like that about, being a waitress. So in my assessment, it seems like the tip is now expected along with gratuity. Back in the days, it was one or the other. You didn't pay for gratuity and a tip. Mm-hmm. What's it like in Canada? Is both expected now?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much expected, right? So it's the norm. The minute it's in the debit machine, the terminal, it's like you kind of have to. So
I don't know about that, but so you do tip on top of the gratuity is what you're saying?
I do, yeah, I do.
Okay.
If I'm in a restaurant or if I'm out and about, I give a little extra,
What about if you're out with the whores, Dave, at a strip club? now, hang on a second. I say that because for those who don't know, David has a very, very popular, really good channel called Today's Religious Talk.
Thank you.
And you've been going at Young Miami very, very hard.
Yes, very hard.
When's the last time you've been into a den of iniquity? That's what we used to call them, a den of iniquity. When's the last time you've been in one?
I avoid those places. I actually started going back to church. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
But that wasn't a question. When is the last time you've been in a den of iniquity?
Probably, I would say maybe 18 years old, the rite of passage, or 18 or 19, a birthday party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you miss it because you were going at Young Miami very hard, and it's a catchy song? I mean, we're just talking. I'm not trying to.
It is a great song.
Pin you down.
But you know what? The crazy thing is, man, the song gives me flashbacks of my childhood growing up, and the particular females I used to know, the girls I used to be around in school. So I know, and that's back then. So I could just imagine now, this generation. So I know the damaging effect of this music. I know what it does because I lived through it. So this is a cycle. It just repeats. And now this is a dose for this generation. to affect the minds of the youth, particularly the females, right? So, and this is the thing. I'm 43 years old.
Okay.
But just imagine coming up as a teenager, 16, 17, 18, and, you know, hearing girls the way they used to talk because of the music culture. So now fast forward, it's 2026 and we got songs like this. It's probably way worse now. I couldn't imagine being a 17-year-old boy or young man at this time, what they got to deal with. So yeah, I clap back, I fight back because it's terrible, man. Like boosters, hustlers, scammers. I need a man making 10 figures, you know, spin the block, show me where your hood at. Like, what? Come on, like, count this. This is ridiculous, man. I don't care if it's a good anthem. It's sickening, man.
Okay. All right.
These young guys are going to jail because of this, man. What the hell?
Well, you know, the world, if you ask me, that there's more simps and there's, you know, every male's not a man. Can we agree on that?
100%. Definitely.
Well, we have the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. But anyway, all right. So any thoughts on Keefe D, or was there something else you wanted to talk about? I played a video earlier, man. I was a little thrown off. Not that you have to comment, but glueless wigs for toddlers. Did you see that?
No. God, no.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, and it seems to be some type of industry now coming out of, was it Kenya or Nigeria? Deeds, I forget. But well, what do you want to chop it up about, man? I appreciate you stopping by.
Nah, man, I'm just happy to be on the show, happy to be on the program. You know, I watch you every day. I'm always tuned in, tapped into the show.
Thank you, man.
You know, taking the opportunity as a sponsor, you always got to take the opportunity to plug what you got going on. Today's Religious Talk, my channel. Everyone, please check out my channel, Today's Religious Talk. And also purchase my book, Decoded the Bible Explained. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook format. I really appreciate all the book sales I've been getting, international sales at that too. Thanks to the Star Report platform. Thanks to the Star Report that promotes up and coming authors and other content creators. So I'm just taking the opportunity. I'm fortunate to plug my channel, my books, and everything that I got going on. So
I don't have your information for my showrunner, David. So later on, when you get a chance, just send me whatever new video you want me to put in the community section, and I'll get that. I'll get that tomorrow. Today's Religious Talk. I thought I had it somewhere. I don't know what happened.
New video out. Why spend that is too costly, and it's me clapping back at the Young Miami's Summer Smash. Spend that. I'm anti-culture. You know.
I was trying to go see her at the House of Blues in Myrtle Beach, but she dropped off of the tour, so you know, I wasn't able to. But you know, anyway, hey Matt, great to see you. Stay in touch, and like I say, send me that email when you get time. All right.
100%. Thank you so much. I'm tapped into the show. Appreciate you, sir.
Take care, David.
Thank you, sir.
David D. Cordova, good guy. Good guy. Hold on a second. My show producer Deeds sent me an email here. This time a customer found a ring in the chicken. We got Dr. Matthews and Quanell X. Are they staging these? Nah, I think I saw this one, Deeds. Well, maybe not. This one came out 8 days ago. Give me a second. I'll play it. Dr. Matthews and Quanell X visit church's chicken after a customer finds a ring in their chicken. Everybody hold on. Hey, Stacy Galore. Good to see you. Guys, make sure you check out www.stacygalore.com/business or stacygalore.com. Earning opportunities. Okay. I'm going to come back to that one, Deeds. Guys, phone lines are open. So here's a video from my IG page. And there's the Tupac plaque. Somebody sent me an email. Let me see if this will work on the screen. If not, I may have to download. Can you guys see that, or should I download the file? I think if I download the file, it'll work better. Here, let me do that. All right. So Deeds sent me a new video. Since I mentioned it, let me play this, all right? Now, they went up in Popeyes over a so-called condom in the chicken, right? And then there was another restaurant where a guy claimed that the food was bad. So this is what they're doing now. Let me move this out of the way. Hold on a second. I'm going to put Stacy's information back on the screen. And David, I got your donation. Thank you so much. We got a lot to cover here this afternoon. Hold on a second. I like Dr. Matthews. Let's go.
Why you don't got no damn gloves on? No, I'm gonna talk to you anyway I want to with your snagger too fast. I'm talking to you. Where your goddamn gloves at? You over here serving my people over here, and you over here, look, your nails dirty and everything. What kind of shit is this? And I want to know about this. Why y'all had a ring in my grandma chicken? Why we got a ring in that grandma chicken, man?
You need to back away right now. We got corn and legs here.
Huh?
And Robert Charles here too.
No, it's the grandmother. She in the hospital. I got the video right here.
Ma'am, who's in charge? Ma'am, who's in charge?
They doing the most down there.
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge?
And why y'all don't have no damn gloves on? How y'all over here cooking chicken and it's not
Yeah,
sanitary?
they ain't got no gloves on.
What kind of shit is this? Y'all got a ring and people chicken? Where's she at?
Where's the manager?
Okay, they say the manager coming. So this don't make no sense. Who phone is this? Who phone?
My brother.
Who cell phone is this?
You were calling my name?
Where the manager at?
What they did to that old black woman's wife. What they did was they cooked a person's ring in her food.
A ring?
And then when she showed it, and then when she showed it,
You might want to get your money back.
then they laughed.
Go get your money back, Grandma.
Then they
Look
laughed
here,
about it.
we got no ring.
Now, is that the manager? The hell?
Go get your money back. They are unsanitary. No gloves, no nothing.
Laughed about it, brother.
No gloves or nothing.
Robert Charles Gerard Jr.
So look
Yeah,
here.
don't come in here. They are unsanitary.
Let me say this.
Unsanitary.
To all of
Found
you all-
a ring in somebody's
to all of
food.
y'all who buying chicken.
Found a ring in the
You find
food.
this chicken,
A ring in the chicken.
it ain't safe.
And they admitted
Ask
it.
yourself
Don't come
a
here.
question. They back
Don't come here. Go to another spot.
with dirty fingernails. She got sores all on her hands with no gloves.
Go get your money back.
They cooking your food with sores on her hands. No, she got sores on
Look
her
at
hands,
it.
no gloves.
Ring.
And
A dirty
they gave
ring.
the old lady a ring in her food
And she had to go.
laughed
And
about
she
it.
had to go to the emergency room.
And laughed about it. She biting down on the ring.
And got
And then they
infections
said
in her
on the
gums.
video, they say, "Oh, we know who ring that is."
Yeah, right
No
here.
apology. Didn't even offer to do anything to help this lady.
Y'all better go get.
Okay. Thank you, Deeds. My show producer sent me that video. Guys, today's religious talk on YouTube. That's David D. Cordova's platform. David has called in on multiple occasions. He's a man of extensive knowledge, and he has a really, really good wellspring of information with regards to many different types of religion, and that's what he discusses on his platform, okay? Phone lines are open. I want to show you guys the Tupac plaque since I've been discussing it. Hold on a second. Let me try something here. Wait a minute. Can you guys give me a second? How do I log in to Instagram? Everybody hold on. Hey, Deeds, hold on a second. I can't multitask. No, that didn't work. If this doesn't work, I'll just do it after the show. I'll have to come back to it. All right, phone lines open. And we do have an update. Can you mention? Oh, okay. You know, Deeds, I got a lot of stuff to do then during the break. Guys, we're doing a special show tomorrow. Tomorrow's Deeds' birthday. And I think I need to take maybe a quick break now, go into that other room and get some of these showrunners. I don't have Deeds' showrunner. I don't have David D. Cordova's. All right, give me a second, Deeds, all right? Okay, let me get back to my notes here for a second. We also have an update with regards to this sad woman who was hung in Mississippi. And I just want to say in advance, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to besmirch this young woman's memory, you know, what's left of it. She was 29 years of age. I just learned earlier this morning that she was a mother of 4. You guys remember the story we were talking about in Mississippi? Well, they have somewhat of interest, and it appears to be a black man, not the guy whose face we had on the screen a couple of days ago, which was one of her children's fathers, not him. But let's play this and have a discussion, because I think, well, I have a theory. Hang on a second. Let's just play it and then we'll talk, okay? Here we go.
And we want to emphasize this person of interest, since they have not been charged with a crime in this case. We are not disclosing their name or showing their photo. 1 week now since 29-year-old Tasia Fortune's body was found hanging from a tree in the backyard of a vacant house in West Jackson. We could soon find out more about how Fortune died.
We're expecting to hear on Thursday from the state medical examiner as what the official cause of death is.
According to testimony in municipal court, investigators have charged an individual as a person of interest on unrelated charges. The 65-year-old man was questioned in the hours after Fortune was found hanging from a tree in the backyard of a vacant house on Road of Remembrance 1 week ago.
People are upset about it, and quite naturally they should be. This is something that's a very disturbing situation and case in our city and in our state, but we're not going to jump to conclusions.
Officers found the gun on the man and realized he was a convicted felon. They charged him with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Authorities say the person lives on the same street where Fortune's remains were found. They say he admitted to arguing with Fortune 2 days before her remains were found, but he denied harming her. Given Mississippi's reputation of racially motivated lynchings, Mayor Horn says he understands why many may be feeling afraid.
When incidents like this pop up, the natural conclusion is, oh, there's something very heinous and that harkens back to our past that's a part of this. I'm not sure that's the case at this point.
That person of interest, who again we are not naming or showing their photograph, that individual was being held, was given a bond for $250,000 on that charge of being a felon and possession of a firearm. And we just checked the recent Hinds County inmate detail. That person is still listed as someone inside Raymond Detention Center. For now, we're live at JPD headquarters. Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
Very sad. So, a 65-year-old man is under investigation for the murder of that, well, she was 29, mother of 4. Now, that particular area in Jackson, Mississippi, it looks like it's below the poverty line, if anybody has any knowledge. Do you think and I say this with all due respect, she may have been doing business with the man. It's not to assassinate her character. A mother of 4 living below the poverty line, right? A mother's going to do what a mother's got to do to feed her kids. Let me look in the live chat. This is not meant to be funny, you know? The 65-year-old, depending on whether he, I would imagine, lives on a fixed income. 65. So he's 2 years older than me, 3 years older than me. Part of the cocaine generation, possibly heroin. Down there, might still be doing some type of drug. Do you think that she may have been the runner? The runner for the drugs? Do we know what day she disappeared? Was it a day or two after the first? If you're on a fixed income, you get that money on the first, yes? Well, depending on the state. Do you think that thank you for your comment on the screen. Do you think that she was supposed to go get something, and as many women do, not just black, many women do, they try and flip the money before they go get what they're supposed to go get? Bitch, just bring the drugs back. Where are you? I'm coming. They doing that thing they always do. I gotta go. Now I gotta go over here to get it. I gotta wait. Give me a little time. I think that's what happened. He's getting, antsy. He wants to get high. He's thinking about getting high. He's thinking about back in the days. He's having flashbacks. And he wants to see her do that little thing that she does. This is all speculation. He's telling her, bitch, hurry up. I got to take my nap soon. Got to take my medication. Where are you? I'll just leave it at that for a second. Good afternoon, Rory. What's going on?
What's going on with you, man?
Watch the language, okay?
Everything is good.
Early afternoon. How you doing?
Watching the language. Yeah. Keep it PG, man.
Yeah. Hey, did you check out yesterday's file that I uploaded with you and left-handed?
Did I see what?
I uploaded a file yesterday, an old show with you and left-handed. Did you? I sent you an email. You get it?
Oh, yeah. Salute the left-handed.
What's going on?
What was I going to say? I wanted to give you a quick update real quick on the Dominican Day Parade that happened this weekend.
No, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Well, that's up in New York. We're talking about national stories. Did anybody get shot? What's going on up in New York?
Yes. 4 stabbed, 2 shot, 1 killed. So, this is after 2 or 3 years this is happening in Midtown. So I'm going to start a petition.change.org, petition on change.org, to have the Dominican Day Parade permit revoked for next year's parade. And
it'll never happen.
Because I want to get as many people as I can to sign it, you know. This is violence in Midtown Manhattan. It's disgraceful. And they're the only ones who bring this kind of violence so they don't deserve, they should be suspended at least for a year for celebrating in Manhattan, celebrating.
Can I jump in?
Culture.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
You sound like you're showing rat behavior. What do you mean you're going to start a petition and try and shut them down? That's rat behavior.
That's okay. Well, that's okay. Sometimes you gotta fight war a different way. We're being outnumbered over here, and times are different. I don't mind ratting on third worlders. I'll rat to ICE. I'll rat the ICE on them. City Hall, the police department, anybody. I don't care. They don't deserve it. And if that's Dominican culture, then you keep that in Dominican Republic. We don't want that over here.
Okay. Listen, I got to focus on Keefe D. The jury selection started yesterday, or the showrunner. Do you tip along with Gratuity? I gotta stay focused, Rory.
Yeah, I want Keefe D. I'm not trolling. I'll be honest with you. I'm not trolling.
Okay.
I think that there's a chance he might get convicted just because of sensationalism.
Okay.
And the media coverage and everybody. But I honestly said, for me, it's free to OG Keefe D. I mean, I don't think he should be in jail. I think this should be over. This whole case should be let dead dogs lay where they are. Supposedly the killer is dead for a long time already. Tupac put himself in that situation. He wanted to be a G. He wanted to be part of the gang culture. He wasn't. That's not who he was or what he was. Keefe D had years on the streets. He really was somebody. He really had a crew. Those Southside Compton Crips were a real crew. Pac wanted to beef with them, and that's what happens when you faking the funk. And
Pac wanted to smoke, and he got to smoke. Got it.
He should have stayed in his lane. Art school kid, musically talented kid. He should have stayed in his lane. That's the same thing happened to him in Brooklyn. The same thing before he went out to L.A. The same thing happened to him in Brooklyn. He should have stayed in his lane out here, but he wanted to be hanging with the thugs from, East New York and from, and they got him, Star. You know how it is with the Brooklyn cats, especially back then. They'll be your friend and everything. Next thing you know, you got a gun in your face. Everything's getting taken off of you.
Brooklyn, the home of cutthroats, backstab, disingenuous lowlifes, scum.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the West Coast, and he after he got pumped out over here and fled, and then he emulates it again over there, and the same thing happens to him again. He's not from there. He didn't grow up in that culture. He don't know them people like that, and he got exploited again. So,
hold on. If memory serves me correctly, Tupac was born in Harlem Hospital. Yes, no? Anybody in live chat?
Yeah.
Moved out to Baltimore. Moved out to Baltimore. I forget, he went to one of those nice schools out there, and he and Jada Pinkett were best friends.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that he didn't become the guy that he was, rapping about. He became what was the name of the character in Juice? Was it Bishop? I forget.
Who?
Let me Google. Guys, what was Tupac's name in Juice? Was it Bishop?
Oh, Bishop. Yeah, in the movie. Yeah.
He became Bishop. He transformed in real life.
Right. No, you're right. He did become Bishop.
He became Bishop.
But he really wasn't Bishop.
Really
wasn't Bishop.
He became Bishop. He became Bishop. So
yeah.
I'm not saying he was no punk. Yes, he was a dancer for digital.
I didn't say that either.
Okay, but a lot of people try to say, he was a dancer. But when it came down to it, goddamn, he shot at them cops down in Atlanta. If I remember correctly, come on.
Right. He did, and the same way he did that down in Atlanta, he caught his out in L.A.
Okay.
You got to chalk it up. You got to chalk it up to the game.
Okay.
You if you're in the game and you're part of the culture and you're jumping guys who are gang members with other gang members. You're throwing up gang signs. You're doing well. All right. So now you're part of it. Now you live in it. So the tears and everything about him afterwards was what upset me, because it was like this guy knew what was going to happen to him.
Rory, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Stay right there. David D. Cordova, there's a question on the screen for you. If you want to, respond to that guy or call back in. I don't have my contacts in, but I think that's for David D. Cordova. Okay, back to you, Rory. So you're saying free Keefe D, and you're being serious. You're not trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. Free to OG, man. He's like 60-something years old. He lived that life. He's still surviving. He's obviously a real G out there. besides this case, he didn't get picked up on anything, and he wasn't living that life no more. So he's been true to it. I haven't heard him start snitching on nobody or doing anything like that. The only time I heard him say something, he said that his nephew was the one that did it, and his nephew's dead already. So if you consider that snitching, I don't know, the guy's dead. Does it matter if he says if he puts it on him and he really did it? That kind of makes sense. Maybe I don't listen. Tupac should have stayed in his lane. When he went to LA, he was a platinum.
Well, hang on a second, because we're going back to Tupac. We've already discussed Tupac. Now, here's where you and I disagree. Keefe D is a certified rat. You can't be saying free a rat. You can't do that, man. You who always talks about sticking to the G code, the streets, real niggas. You like real nigga hip hop, right? DMX and all that street stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't be saying free the rat. All rats must die, including Star. A violent death. Come on, man. Don't get soft. Don't get soft.
I'm not getting soft.
What he was, what he was once upon a time is something else. And I believe he was a goon back in his days. He's old. He's old and frail now, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't catch it like your boy Whitey Bulger caught it, right? Didn't they gouge his eyes out in the penitentiary?
Hell yeah, he was like 80 something years old when they got him, in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
he got his.
Took his eyes out.
But I don't think I'm the one that's soft. The ones who are soft are the Tupac fans. They're the ones who are soft, crying for everybody and anybody.
You keep going back to Tupac, but you're saying free.
Yeah, because that's what the whole thing's about. If it wasn't for his star status, this guy wouldn't be on trial right now. And you got all these fans all over the world who weren't even around back then, who got this whole character of this guy mixed up, that he's some sort of messiah, a messenger. He was too good for this world.
He was a messiah in hip hop.
That is true.
Hey, Rory. He was a prophet in hip hop. He most certainly was.
Sure, and fine. He was a prophet in hip hop, but he was in the game. He put himself in that situation, and he started messing. He played around with a real OG.
Okay.
Let it go.
All right.
This is all about the fans. Everybody, the fans. Oh my God, Tupac got what he got because he wanted to get that. Okay. He wanted to be a part of that life. That's why he got that.
All right. Hey, before you go,
pretty simple.
All right, before you go, thank you for your comment. Is it Fredro? Fred. I can't see what my contacts. Fredro 9450. Respect to the machine. Thank you so much, Roy. Before you go, showrunner.
Yeah.
Do you tip along with gratuity? I got another video I want to play about that.
No. Within the last, I want to say, it's crazy, but I would say the last 8 years or something like that, the whole tipping industry has gone absolutely bonkers insane. So I pulled back on all of that, and I stopped caring, and I don't care.
Wow.
I won't tip. I don't tip at places that don't deserve a tip, like a deli or a cleaners, or it's just normal stuff. I don't, they always have their tip jar, or even with them, they have on the screen, gratuity, add a tip. I put no tip, and I look them right in their face. So yeah, I don't, if I go out to eat, I expect to tip. If the gratuity is included, then that's all the tip you're going to get.
When you and I went to Uncle Jack's, who left the tip? I forget. Was it me or you?
I don't remember, man. But if the gratuities included, then
I think I left the tip and I paid for the food. You don't have any cash. I mean, I remember correctly, right? Uncle Jack's.
Yeah, you did pay for the meal.
Yeah, yes, I'm not trying to clown you. I'm just saying you didn't leave a tip. So maybe you keep it real.
No, a place like that I would tip. A place like that I would tip, but Not for nothing. Like the culture has gone crazy with the tipping. You got guys behind the counter, you know, and they don't even speak English, and they got big tip jars there with all kinds of signs on it. You got Arab Muslims where I live. I don't even want them here, and they got big. I don't want them owned in the store, but that's the only store that's closed. They got big old tip jars over there, a la Akbar. No, bro, I don't even want you here. Why would I tip you? You know? Like, it's insanity. Everything with the tip. And people are so, I don't know, the world changed, man. It's DoorDash and I would never pay those prices and then tip on top of it for a goddamn, you know, Indian or Pakistani to bring me my food. Who knows what they're going to do with your food, man? You out of your mind? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
Did you see the black guy in Popeyes farting on the chicken? Oh my God.
Right. Stuff like that.
Did you see
all
that?
The time. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I see the craziest stuff. You know, what? I'll tell you a story real quick. I went to go get some food the other day. I'm not going to say where, but it's a quasi-upscale fast food place. And there was a homeless guy inside the place at the counter pressing people to buy him a meal. And I'm looking at the people behind the counter, and I don't say anything to him, and I'm really mad. I don't like that. Don't press me like that inside a place. It's just everything is wrong right off the bat. So I look at the people behind the counter, and I said, are you just going to let this guy stand in here and press every single person that comes in to order food to buy him a meal? I'm like, that's what we're doing in here? You're not going to tell this guy, get the F out of the store, get the hell out of here? Like, this is New York City now. You know, they're so scared to death of everything. The police won't do nothing to nobody. You know, so yeah, I'd rather eat at home, Star. If I'm going to go out and eat, I go to an Italian place because they know how to wait on you and take care of you. Or I might get some Chinese food to go from a place that I know is clean and been here like 30, 40 years. You know, other than that, I don't eat fast food.
Hey, do they still have that spot in New York City? Is it something Charlie? Is it Charlie Mom's? You ever heard of that?
Yeah. Where? By me?
The Chinese place. Hold it. I think it's Charlie. It's really, really good. Charlie Mom. Oh my goodness. That's some great food in New York City.
You know, there's a favorite of mine up on the Upper East Side. It's called Nancy's Pig Heaven.
Okay.
And it's a pork fest. So if the food is insane up there, it's really good. The lady Nancy's she's like a character. She's a real character. Okay. And no Muslims go in there. So it's a
check out Charlie Mom. If you have, in my opinion, probably the best Chinese food in New York City. Charlie Mom. Listen, I gotta go, man. Great talking to you. Great talking to you.
All right, free Jimmy Henchman too. Free Keepy D, free Jimmy Henchman.
Okay, all right.
Peace.
Salute. Peace. Left-handed.
Peace. What's going on?
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm telling everything's everything. Yeah, I listened to it.
Yesterday.
Yeah, what happened?
The playback.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I listened to it yesterday and responded to some people in the chat and all of that. And so it's always a fun time, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can do what I do. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you know, we came up doing this. We was born doing this, man. So it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But I feel like I got mine off, and it was some more in the chamber. But besides all that, though, man, what's good with you?
I'm sitting here just going over this whole Keepy D thing, man. I mean, very, very interesting. I got another video where he waives the jury sentencing. He wants to be sentenced by the judge only. This is a very interesting case, man. I've never seen nothing like this before.
It's taken a whole bunch of, turns and detours and relapses and stuff. And again, man, whatever you do, you're going to have to live with it. You've already, confessed to it and changed your mind and flipped the script. Now being, wanting to be sentenced by just a judge alone, the judge is going to, Take all of that into consideration. Everything that's happened that brought you to right where you are right now in front of this judge.
Yeah.
Before he throw that number at you. And
she,
my bad. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
She, my bad. Yeah. Which kind of makes it even a little bit, even more different. But yeah, man, that's all. I just wanted to tap in, man, let you know I listened to the show, to the playback and all of that, man. And I took your advice, man.
Okay.
Before I'm gonna land my plane on this. I took your advice. We talked, you know what I mean? And for all the people out there, man, listen to this dude, man. He's not gonna steer you wrong.
Me.
I added some things, and we on tonight down in Sports, aka the Sports Spitters.
Nice.
Live, direct, 8 o'clock, YouTube, Facebook, IG, all that. We're gonna be in the building. Myself and Yada Bear. I'm out. Peace.
Salute. Good to talk to you. All right. Left-handed tapping him.
That we wanted to talk about the jury selection protocol because it is different from how we usually do it.
Yeah.
No? Okay. Mr. Davis, my understanding is that Mr. Stamp has made you aware that you have the right to have the jury sentence you if they come back on a first-degree murder verdict, and you have decided to waive that right. Is that correct?
That's fine.
Okay. So what that means is when I am talking to the jurors, I'm not going to tell them what the potential penalties are for first-degree murder. Additionally, I'm not going to ask them if they can abide by those penalties and come up with a sentencing agreement or sentencing decision. And then at the end of the day, if that is the verdict, it would be me sentencing you on that as well as the enhancement. Is that your understanding of everything that would happen given this waiver?
Enhancement.
Yeah. So in general, the defense would have, the jury would be able to sentence you on the first-degree murder portion. That carries either 20 years to life, or 20 to 50 years, 20 to life, or life without the possibility of parole. In any case, if there's an enhancement, and in this case there are two enhancements, there's both the gang enhancement as well as the deadly weapon enhancement, that is left up to the judge. In this case, if it's a first-degree murder, that has to be an equal and consecutive 20 to life sentence or life without the possibility. Well,
stop right there. What did she just say? If it's a first-degree murder, they can't catch him on first-degree murder. He's not the shooter. He's being charged with orchestrating. Who's that on the screens that says smart move? I concur. It says a brilliant strategy.
in this case, there are two enhancements. There's both the gang enhancement as well as the deadly weapon enhancement. That is left up to the judge. In this case, if it's a first-degree murder, that has to be an equal and consecutive 20 to life sentence or life without the possibility, 20 to 50 sentence, 20 to life, or life without the possibility of parole. So that would be up to the judge sentencing, no matter what the jury. I'll give you a moment to consult with Mr. Sanders.
I have a question while they're talking. Because you intend to panel in panel 36, is that 8 and 2 instead of 8 and 1?
Yes.
So it's 10.
Yeah, so I'll go over that. The general guidelines at this point.
Take a good look at the judge. How old do you think she was when Dre Day was out? Hold on a second. Anybody know what year did Dre Day come out? Fuck with Dre Day. What year was that? Released in 1993. Released in 1993. How old do you think the judge was in 1993? Do you think she's going to have a soft spot for Tupac or Keefe D? She's not in her 50s or 60s.
once I finish with the canvas.
Thank you, Honor.
Okay, Mr. Davis, do you understand then what we've gone over?
Yes.
Any other questions that I can answer at this time?
All good.
Okay, and you wish to waive your right to have the jury sentence you on the first-degree murder if that is their verdict?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I will have this stipulation and waiver of penalty phase or penalty hearing filed. That should cut down the potential for how long this trial will last. Previous discussions had been 4 to 5 weeks. Is that still accurate state to qualify the jury for?
Yes.
Hey, Reggie, sorry to interrupt, but I want to let our audience know if you guys.
Okay. What is this? Some type of.
That I wasn't anticipating. I might be asking the court for a day to depose.
A day?
A day to depose Steve Wilson on August 19th. So apparently my office had submitted a deposition subpoena for Mr. Wilson to make an appearance on a separate issue that's not related.
Unrelated to this case, you have a legal matter.
Correct,
That
Your
may
Honor.
have to occur.
And that would be on the 19th.
Okay, and let me look.
Now, my concern is, of course, I would have moved it, but the problem is, though, that particular
And it would be in the
issue-
afternoon?
It,
Well, so here's why I'm saying that. I had gone dark on several of my civil days, but I was going every other day so I could keep my civil cases on track. So the 19th, we are starting at 1.
Okay.
So if it's able to be in the morning, let me know. If it's something that has to be in the afternoon, let me know as soon as that happens.
I guess it just depends on how long we talk in that deposition, Your Honor.
I like that comment on the screen. Quieter than a library. The judge is relaxed. Everybody is behaving. Keep ED, certified rat, is very compliant. He's not causing any disturbances. He's not being snippy with the judge. This old rat knows what he's doing. That's Kaiser Sose, if you ask me.
you.